Do you know you can make your own pant block without having to rack your brain with so much calculations? Oh yes, you heard me very correctly. You don't need to worry about all of those divisions, all of those mathematical calculations, getting your crotch depth and all of those stuff. Watch this video down to the end. Let me show you a very simple method you can use to make your pant blocks with zero calculations. Yes! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Egon of Trex Fashion. I share simple tutorials here on pattern making and sewing. And if this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button now. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment for me below. So in today's class, we'll be learning how to make the pant block using a very simple method. Now, this is how the pant block looks like. So this is the front part and this is the back part. Now, once you have this pant block, you will be able to modify the pant block to create different styles of pants using the pant block as your foundation. So in this class, instead of drafting the pant block using your measurements and doing some calculations here and there, we will be copying a nice pair of pants that fits you perfectly well. So for me, I'll be copying my store-bought pants that fits me perfectly well. So go grab a pair of pants that fits you well and let's head over to the table. Let me show you exactly how you can copy a pair of pants and turn it into a pant block. So before we start copying our pants to make our pant block, there are a few things you need to make sure of. First of all, you need to be very sure that your pants fits very well, that you like the way the crotch sits on you and everything before you choose that pants to make your pants block. It's very important. And then secondly, you also need to make sure that your pants does not have stretch. Like this pant I'm using now does not have stretch at all. It's not stretchy. So because if you use a stretchy pant, it therefore means that you will only be using the pant block for stretch fabrics. So you place your pants just like this on your plain sheet of paper. Now we'll be tracing out the front part first because, well, the front part is easier to trace out. So you're going to place your pants on your paper, lay it flat like this. We're going to start from the side seam. So be sure to arrange it very well like this. Okay, so once you've arranged your side seam and you're happy with the way your side seam is, now on this part here, you see the front is usually smaller than the back part, the back pants, yes. So you have to fold, this is my front side seam, inseam, this one here. So you have to fold it in like that. So just fold it in like that and be sure that it lies very flat. So once you're happy with the way it is, you can put weight on it or you can just go ahead and start tracing. So once you've done this, you can go ahead now and start tracing. So I'm going to start with the side seam first. And then you stop at the waistline here. Okay? And now you're going to trace the inseam all the way down as well. And then you're going to stop directly where your crotch is. So that's where my crotch is. So I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to trace the hem now. Okay, so now for us to trace the waistline is a little bit tricky. Now you see this your crotch line here. This is my center front line. This part here, you see this part here, this is my center front, and this is where it stops, this is where it ends. So what I normally do is I just take a pin and place it directly where it ends. I hope you can see what I'm doing. You place it directly where it ends, just like that, and then you lift up your pant, and then you see my little mark here where the pin is. Yes, so you place a mark on it. Okay, so now you can take off your pant, and then you can now trace out your crotch line. Okay, so first of all, we are going to join the waistline. This is where my front waistline ended, and I'm just going to join it to the side seam here. So you use your French curve to just connect it nicely. Okay, and here you're going to also connect this to this part. So you can take your pattern master to connect it nicely. On the other hand, you can just draw a straight line here so that you can connect it well. Okay, yeah, let me use this one to connect it good. Okay, now I think I want to connect this with a pencil first. I'm going to show you why later, because I want this part to be a bit flat. So you just take it in like that, just about 1 cm or 1.5 cm, you know, and then you connect it. Yes, you connect it nicely. You see, so that's your crotch line. Okay, so that's it for the front part. You're going to do exactly the same thing for the back side. Now let me show you how to do the back side. So now for the back side, you're also going to lay your pants very flat like this. We are going to start tracing from the side seam again. Now the difference between the tracing of this and the front is, you know that the back side is usually bigger than the front part. So instead of folding this in, we're not going to fold it in. You're just going to lie your pants very flat like this, and then let's trace. You can put your weight on it so it doesn't move. And then you start tracing from the side seam. Okay, then you stop it at the waistline here. You trace your hem. Okay. Now once you get to this part, I want to trace that part with a pencil first. I'm going to show you why later. Okay, you trace it all the way to your crotch line, or to where your crotch stops, and then your waistline, you also trace it to where your center front is. This is where my center front is, so that's it, like that. You put a mark there, just like that. Now because the back is usually bigger than the front, you see a little excess here, so we are going to measure it. So you take your tape measure, and then you're going to measure it, because that's the only way we can trace it. So from here now, this folded part, you place your tape on it. Here I have 4 cm, so I'm going to measure from the edge now 4 cm. So I'm just going to mark it. So this is where my crotch is. So you see it, just the same spot here. So from here to here is 4 cm. So you just measure to see how much is here. So from here is 3 cm. So you measure like this, and then you put your mark 3 cm. So you just keep measuring and see if whatever value you have, you add it. This is about 2 cm. So from here downwards, for my pant is 2 cm. Now it's going to be different for yours, so you just check the value. This is 2 cm, so you add it from here. So be sure to check yours because it's going to be different for everyone. So again, what I just did is I just measured this excess here and added it here like that. So from here to here I measured it, added it like that, like that, like that, all the way down to the hemline. Okay, so once you've done this, you can now use your marker to connect the points together, just like that. Okay, yes. Okay, now you cannot take off your pants if you are happy with the way you've traced it out. All right, so this is what we have. So first of all, I'm just going to join the waistline. So this is my waistline. I'm just going to join it in a slight curve. Okay, and then this is my crotch. I'm also going to join it in a slight curve. So I just want this part to be a little bit flat here. I don't want any pointy edges there. So, and then I'm now going to connect it nicely to these parts. So yeah, you're going to have something like this. Okay, so that is what you're going to have. So now I can now erase this part out because we don't need this part anymore. So one last thing we need to do. So you see the back pants and the front pants is already looking really good. Okay, one last thing I want to do is in case you want to add that to yours, it's pretty easy because this pant I'm using, they actually eliminated the darts. It's a ready-to-wear pant. I bought it off the shop, so they already eliminated that. But I want to add a dart to my pant block in case I want to make a pant that will have darts. So, and that is pretty easy to add your dart. The dart value usually is about 3 cm. So you're going to add your dart from here, from your center front line. This is going to be our center front. You add about 3 cm because that's the value of our dart. So that's how it's going to be. And then you use your French curve again to just curve it nicely in. You connect this part in very nicely. So let me do it from here so I can see it very well. Okay, let me try and get a nice curve. So you just place your pattern master or your French curve nicely like this, and then you connect it nicely. Okay, yeah, so this is what you have. You're going to have something like this. So you're going to erase this part out because you don't need that part anymore. So right now you can already use your pen if you are happy with your curve. Okay, yes, now you can now connect it very nicely. Okay. Okay, so remember we also don't need this part anymore. Yeah. Okay, so you cannot add your darts. So you're going to measure from here. Let me straighten it a little bit here. Okay, so you're going to measure from here, from your center front line here. You're going to measure 12 cm, which is the standard for making the darts. From here to here, 12 cm. And then you draw your length of darts. The front darts can be about 10 cm, or it can also be about 12 cm. It depends on what you want or how long you want your dart. Now the value we added here is 3 cm. So you have 1.5 on this side and then 1.5 on this other side. And that's how you create your darts. Easy peasy. Okay, and then you're going to do exactly the same thing for the back side. Now for the back side, you also add 3 cm from your center back line, and then you have your 3 cm just like that. Okay, you use your French curve to connect it nicely. Okay, let me see if I'm able to connect this. Okay. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be our new line, and then you're going to just erase this part out. Okay, now you cannot connect it with your, you can redraw your line now with your pen if you're happy with the way it is. Okay, now you're going to add your darts just the way we added for the front. So from here you measure 12 cm. You mark the length of your back darts. Can be 12 cm, it could be longer, it could be shorter. Yeah, it just depends on how long you want it. 1.5 on both sides of your dart. And that's it. Okay, then one last thing we need to add is our straight grain. The straight grain or the crease line, and that is very easy for us to do. So to add your straight grain or the crease line, you're just going to measure from, okay, this is your hemline here, so you just divide it into two. The front hemline, divide it into two, and then mark the midpoint. So my midpoint here is about 10, so I'm just going to mark it. Let me straighten this out a little bit. Okay, so this is my midpoint. Yeah, let me be sure. Okay, yeah, that's my midpoint. And then you just draw a straight line all the way down. Just make sure your lines are straight. I'm placing these on it so that I'll be sure that my lines are straight. So this is going to be my straight grain or my crease line. Okay, so the other things you want to do is you may want to rule your crotch line. You may also want to indicate where your hip line is, but then you have to take measurements for that. That's not really necessary. You may also want to indicate where your knee line is, but that's optional, depends on you. But the most important one is your crease line or your straight grain, so that you will know how to place your pattern on your fabric when you need to cut them out. So we're going to do exactly the same thing for the back part. Okay, so that's our pant block. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, it's as simple as this. So the only thing you need to do now is so that you don't keep doing this process every time you want to make a pant for yourself, or you want to make a shirt, you don't want to continue to do this tracing out, you can now transfer this pant block into a hard cardboard, and then you keep it for future use, so that whenever you want to make a pant, you just bring out your block and then use it. So you see mine, I've already transferred mine, and this is how my pant block looks like. So easy peasy. Indicate which side is the front and then which side is the back. You write your center front and your center back. This is my center front and then my center back, so you don't forget. So that is how easy it is for us to make a pant block by copying our ready-to-wear pant, or a pant that already fits us very well. So I hope you enjoyed this class, and I hope you learned something new in this class. If you do, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please leave a comment for me to know what you think. And if you have not already subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button now. And if you want to learn how to use this pant block to make a classic pant, I have a tutorial, a step-by-step tutorial in my online school, where you can learn how to make a classic pant just like this, step by step from beginning to the end. So I'm going to drop the link in the description box below, so you can just click on it and join my online pattern making and sewing school. So thank you so much. I'll see you again in my next class. Until then, bye bye.